Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex. This is Time Out Over Time on the Time Out Over Time YouTube channel. I'm your host, Rick Arsenal. First things first, if you haven't done so yet, please get down there in the corner and smash that like and subscribe button for me. Many thanks for doing that. Thank you. Don't think I don't appreciate this. We now have over 3 dozen subscribers, and that list is growing every day. So thank you. Thank you for watching. Don't think I don't appreciate it. Tigers are back to 500 after sweeping the probably the worst team in the history of professional baseball. They've got the Angels coming in for 3 beginning tonight. We'll talk about that a little bit. And I wanted to wait till after 4 o'clock today, too, to see if there were any surprising cuts made. As you know, all 32 teams in the NFL had to be down to 53 players by 4 o'clock today. I was waiting to see if there were any eyebrow raisers or surprises coming out of that. A few minor ones involving our team, the Lions. And we'll get to that just momentarily. But first, Time Out Over Time is sponsored in part by Frank Beck Chevrolet and M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville. If it's time for a new-to-you vehicle, let the sales pros at Beck's help you choose the right vehicle. Pardon me. New or pre-owned, Beck's has the top selection in the tri-state area with over 200 vehicles in stock. Stop by and see for yourself. And when you're ready, ask for Russ McBordy, Chris Hodis, Danny Smith, Adam Schaefer, Blake Bryant, Cameron Mincio, Bob Flynn, or Peyton Lucas. And when it comes time to service that new-to-you vehicle, the service pros at Beck's can fix it. Any make, any model, foreign or domestic, Beck's can fix it. And if you have a bit of a crunch or fender bender, Beck's Body Shop can put it back there looking just as good as new. So for all your automotive needs, look no further than Frank Beck Chevrolet and M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville at 517-849-2886 or on the web at frankbeckchevy.com. Come and experience the Frank Beck difference. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Just a few minutes, too. I will be reminding you, as I have been a lot the last few weeks, about a very special event which will transpire at Frank Beck Chevrolet on Saturday, September the 14th, as we honor our area's first responders. I will be elaborating on that, as I said, in just a few minutes. But first, the Tigers completed part. I better get some water here before I get any further into this. Hang on just a second. I have been sneezing my full head off all day today, too. So I'll try to get by the next 15 or 20 minutes without doing that. Are you like me? Are you sick of the heat and humidity? These certainly are the dog days of summer. And looks like we won't really get a significant break from this until Saturday. But after that, the next couple of weeks look pretty good. The holiday weekend looks like it's going to be perfect. But yeah, I pretty much had it with summer's heat and humidity. It's been rough on me, my allergies, my hay fever, the whole 9 yards. Bad, really bad. I don't ever remember a summer being this bad for me anyway. But anyway, back to sports. Enough about me. The Tigers begin a 3-game series with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim at Comerica Park tonight. The Angels are not very good. They come in 54-77 in last place in the American League West. They should sweep them too. But you go back a couple of months ago when the Tigers were out there in Anaheim, they lost 3 out of 4. That's back when they just weren't playing very good at all. That stretch of bad baseball cost them any shot they had at making the playoffs. They're 66 up, 66 down right now, with obviously with 30 games left. Simple math says in order to have finished with a winning record, they'd have to go 16-14. That would give them 82 wins and 80 losses. I think that to me, I think that should be their goal. Just finish with a winning record. And I would have thought too, had they at the beginning of the season, I picked them to win 87 games. That's just they could still do that, but gosh, this American League Central. You've got Cleveland and Minnesota and Kansas City, folks, all within 2 games of one another. It's not beyond the realm of possibility that all 3 teams could have 90 or more wins this year. I know it's hard to believe. That's so hard to fathom. 3 teams in the American League Central finishing this year with 90 or more wins. I didn't see this coming at all. Like I've said before, Royals lost 106 games last year. They didn't do much in the offseason. They went out and signed a couple of veteran starters. They've got a bright young star at shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr. But I'm shocked at what's going on right now in the American League Central. But it is what it is. Of these 30 games left, the Tigers do have 2 road trips left. Next week, they go to San Diego and Oakland. This has been a fond farewell to the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. They say goodbye to an old friend. They've never played very well out there at all. And a couple of weeks after that, their final road trip of this season, 6-game trip, 2 in Kansas City and 2 in Baltimore. And that's it. Where has this season gone, huh? Oh. Anyway, so who pitches tonight? Brant Herter pitches tonight for the Tigers. Kyler Montero goes tomorrow night. I think Thursday afternoon. It's another bullpen game. Sweep the Angels. Just sweep them. They're not very good. Okay. They're playing well enough now. I thought Ty Madden, in his 5 innings last night, giving up just 1 earned run, I thought he did well enough. I'm sure he was nervous. Butterflies, the whole 9 yards, making your first big league start. But he did okay. He did all right. Spencer Torkelson won the game with a 3-run bomb in the 7th inning. It went 440 feet. That's 1.5 football fields. Anyway, good for him. These young kids are fun to watch now. So, are they putting pressure, you think, on Scott Harris to go out in the offseason and sign bring in a couple of by way of trade or free agency, a couple of bats? Yeah. I was looking at a little while ago, too, at the list of free agent starters that will be on the table this offseason. I don't, of looking at all these free agent starters, they're all in their 30s except for one. Jack Flaherty is still only 29 yet. He'll be a free agent. I think he owes a lot to Chris Fetter for helping him turn his career around. Would he be, if I were the Tigers, I'd give his agent a call. Would they be, willing to come back to Detroit? Depends on how much money he'd want and how many years, but I'd love to see Jack Flaherty back in this rotation for next year. Sign Jack Flaherty, bring in a couple of bats, and make your goal making the playoffs next year, Scott. We'll see. Depends on how much pressure he thinks he's on to make any dramatic changes in the offseason. That all remains to be seen. But anyway, as I said earlier, there is a very special event coming up 2 weeks from Saturday, September the 14th, at Frank Beck Chevrolet between Hillsdale and Jonesville, as they will be celebrating their 9th annual salute to first responders. And this year there will be a special tribute to the Hillsdale County Sheriff's Department for all the right reasons. Bring the kids, let them get up close to emergency vehicles, meet police and firefighters, play games, and more. There will be a free lunch. You sign up for prizes as we celebrate the area's first responders. Plus, there will also be a poker run as well. That's Saturday, September the 14th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Frank Beck Chevrolet on M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville. You can get more info on the web at frankbeckchevy.com. Come that day especially and experience the Frank Beck difference. We will be doing the timeout show from out there. We were out there last year, had a lot of fun. Bring the kids. It will be a day of fun for the whole family. I can promise you that. You'll have a good time. Mark it down on your calendar, put a big circle around that date, put it on your phone. But I want to see you folks out there, And when you do, make sure you stop by and say hi to me and the guys. As I said, we'll be out there broadcasting. So a fun-filled day for the whole family. I can promise you that. Saturday, September the 14th, Frank Beck Chevrolet. Be there. Okay. About 11:30 this morning. Hang on, let me get a little bit of water here before I kick into the last segment here. It must have been about 11:30 this morning that Ian Rappaport tweeted out that the Lions were releasing Nate Sudfeld. Well, wow, that was a bit of a wow. That was the only wow I had on any of these moves that the Lions made. That was the only surprising one, simply because of what Dan Campbell has said last week, what he told the press. About a week ago, he told the press Nate Sudfeld had a leg up on Hendon Hooker for the backup job. And I assume, too, since Sudfeld didn't play at all on Saturday, meant that he pretty much had that locked up. So I was, resigned to the fact that Sudfeld, who is not a NFL caliber quarterback, was going to be our backup. Luckily, that didn't happen. And Hendon Hooker, who had 93 yards rushing Saturday. You know what, too? If anybody that watched that game, the first couple of series, what did Mike Tomlin have to gain by playing his starters against our scrubs? Guys that weren't even going to be on the team after Saturday. So naturally, their first two possessions, they moved the ball right down the field. No problem. Took an early 14-0 lead. But in defense of Hendon Hooker, he was playing behind scrubs. How would he have looked if he would have been behind our starters, the best offensive line in football? So finally came to me after the first couple of series when they were putting the heat on him. He says, the heck with this, I'm getting out of here. And that's when he started running. Now that he's made the squad, if I were Ben Johnson, I would have to seriously think about using him as a wildcat in the wildcat formation in the red zone, or maybe when it's first and goal. His ability to run and scramble around the goal line, I think, is a huge, terrific asset for him. And he still has to learn how to slide feet first, and that'll come. But he's a good athlete. He did run a little bit at Tennessee. I think the accuracy will come with time, but the Lions obviously like what they see in his potential, and so do I. I'm happy that he's made the team, and he will be the backup. As for Sudfeld, there's still a possibility that he could make the practice squad. Gosh, I hope not. I'd rather see Jake Fromm on the practice squad. I guess they were impressed with what they saw from him the last couple of series. A credit to Dan Campbell that he let him get in there and call for him to call plays at what he had to passing plays rather than just go in there and hand off the ball. Let's see what you got. Gosh, he hadn't played an NFL game, I don't think, in a couple of years. He had some stints with the Giants and the Redskins. He had I thought very good career at Georgia. But for whatever reason, he just hasn't been playing at all the last couple of years. I like what I saw from him. Now, granted, he was playing against second, third, fourth, fifth stringers, whatever it was, but his accuracy, his demeanor in the pocket, I liked a lot. He did not have happy feet. Uh, Threw a really nice tight spiral, and he was accurate. I haven't heard anything. The official 53-man roster, I think, will come out sometime tonight. Doesn't mean the Lions couldn't still pick up another wide receiver either. But so I'm happy for Hendon Hooker. Other cuts, notable cuts, I think, were Donovan Peoples-Jones. That just didn't work out here. He could end up with somebody else. I fully expect him to. Darius Fountain was cut. I don't think there were any other significant. Zonovan Bam Knight. There were 3 or 4 other. If I missed anybody, we'll cover that on Thursday. But not really too many surprises. So there were almost 1,000 players cut today yesterday and today among the 32 NFL teams. Almost 1,000 players that right now are out of a job. So for some of them, only temporarily. Others, I don't know. But Lions will get back to practice in earnest, I think, Thursday or Friday. They'll really start their prep for the Ram game next Tuesday, the day after Labor Day. Now, if you hadn't heard, too, DJ Reader has been taken off the physically unable to perform list. He will be practicing with the Lions. What Dan Campbell said, I think, either yesterday or today, they were targeting the second game of the year against Tampa as to that maybe that he would start that. They're not completely ruling out that he won't play against the Rams, but right now I think the odds are against him playing against the Rams. Which I think is fine. We'll see him start the season against Tampa, but that gives Levi Onwuzurike, who's been all the rave of camp, the reincarnated, as we've been told, the totally reincarnated Levi Onwuzurike. Okay, big guy, you're a different man. Now let's see what you got. And two, the Lions might be catching a break in that opener on Thursday night because the Rams could be missing their 2 starting offensive tackles. One who has been suspended for the first 2 regular season games for violating the league's code of conduct, or whatever policy or whatever that is. And the other one, I don't have a name for either one of those. I did, but I didn't write it down. An injury issue right now. So it's possible the Rams may be going into that game without their 2 starting offensive tackles. Looks like it will be getting Jonah Jackson back and Puka Nacua. That's fine. You know, have I got you caught up on everything right now? I think we have. Yeah, that's going to do it for tonight. Don't forget, as always, the Timeout Show with Andy and Jed here locally every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 on WCSR 92.1 FM. And I will talk to you again on Thursday. So until then, remember, please treat each other with respect. Have a good evening. So long, everybody.